Alrighty, 'tis Friday, so there ought to be 3 expansions today. I see Menagerie, Rising Sun, and Prosperity. Yep, that checks out. Landscaped Our Way of the Pig and Kitsugi. This looks pretty strong. I see King's Court, I see Daimyo, Bounty Hunter, Hostelry, a lot of good stuff here. For draw, there is Imperial Envoy, King's Court, Root Cellar, Slay, Daimyo. Hostelry also gives horses, but for every horse you get, you have to discard a card, so it's not really net draw on its own, but that is a powerful effect. For villages, Daimyo, Hostelry, and King's Court. For thinning, Bounty Hunter can exile things. There's also Kitsugi, not the fastest trasher, but maybe comes up. And then plus buy, Tiara, and Imperial Envoy. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. There's no gainers. It's Slay gains horses, but then that gains victory cards. Okay, so probably Tiara is the best bet for plus buy. Uh, you can play with Imperial Envoy, but I feel like you're going to draw your deck just fine without it in this kingdom. And then each plus one buy for Imperial Envoy is coming with a bunch of debt. Whereas Tiara stacks really nicely. Like if you have 3 tiaras, that's plus 5 buys because you can play 1 tiara on the other tiara on the other tiara, and then the second and third one both get doubled. So yeah, Tiara seems like the source of buys. Charlatan looks pretty good. The cursing attack looks okay. Uh, there's thinning here. Bounty Hunter also thins 1 card at a time, and only the first curse gives you money back. So the curse attack hurts somewhat. I think the main reason TR looks, or the main reason Charlatan looks good is just because you're gonna have tons and tons of King's Court and Daimyo plays. You can play every action card here like 3 or more times, and so it looks like the most efficient source of money is just playing an action card that gives you money like 9 times over. And Charlatan is the best candidate for that. So I presume the goal is build a deck that plays a bunch of King's Courts, a bunch of Charlatans for money, then TRs, a bunch of TRs for plus buy, I would think. How to get there? 4 is going to be Bounty Hunter, I presume. 3 could be Slay, could be Kitsugi, just trash an estate. Could be Silver. Wouldn't mind a Silver in the deck, given that I plan on having TRs anyway for plus buy. Might as well have a decent target. Get you some money. I think I like the sound of Kitsugi plus Bounty Hunter. Gives you a 10 card deck, which means 100% chance to see your Bounty Hunter. Nothing bottom decks. Pretty likely to hit 5 and 4, or 6 and 4 technically. Which would be like Charlatan and Tiara. That sounds pretty decent. Could go like the worst case scenario is you hit like 6 and 3 if the estates collide in a hand that doesn't have Bounty Hunter in it. Yeah, I think I like this opening. Yeah, this works out just fine. The estates collided, but I find the Bounty Hunter as well. That's not a problem. Go ahead and take plus buy now. And King's Court, don't mind that. Alright, yeah, the Tiara seems really nice with Daimyo. It gives you 2 buys, so you can buy a thing and buy a Daimyo. And then it lets you top deck both of those things so they line up. So like here, for example, I'm definitely buying something plus a Daimyo and putting them both on the top. Is Root Cellar excessive? Probably not, right? Root Cellar Daimyo, it's a lot of debt. I draw my deck, find the King's Court the Charlatan. Yeah, I think that seems worth it. That should pay for itself. Got a copper and an estate in on the exile map. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so if I exile the estate, I have 15 4 money after all of that. If I exile the curse, I have 9, 14, 17, 6 money. I think that sounds better. If the immediate money didn't make a difference, I think there's a case for just exiling the estate now. exile the curse next turn when I need the money. But I think 6 versus 4 seems relevant. This is enough to do Imperial Envoy plus Daimyo and top deck both, which normally like Daimyo Envoy, you'd like draw 11 cards and then dud. You have no actions left. But here I could do Daimyo Envoy, play it once for +5 cards, and then pick it, and then that will be uh, well, it'll guarantee that I have actions left to continue on with the turn. Okay. So what's the best order of operations here? I think it is Root Cellar, Bounty Hunter, King's Court, Daimyo, Charlatan. Gives me the most money. Well, Bounty Hunter versus Root Cellar, the order doesn't matter too much. King's Court, the Daimyo. Played a million times. And that's going to be 4 Charlatan plays. 20, okay. Gotta watch out for piles. Curses are empty, but nothing else is super low. Yeah, the bot's only got the 1 tiara, so it doesn't have a whole lot of buys. I think I want another tiara, it seems like. Maybe a second tiara, a second charlatan, and then top deck a daimyo. Not a great starting hand. Worst comes to worst, I can always just play the bounty hunter's way of the pig to draw a bit. Yeah, this is a quite a dud. I can't complain. I think I'm way ahead. I didn't accomplish a whole heck of a lot there. Slay seems not bad, but I don't need it on top. Where's that King's Court? I want to find me a King's Court. Yeah, the bot's getting places too here. How did it have so many buys? Did it play the Envoy a million times? Okay, that's where. And it had a million debt as a result. I was really hoping to find the King's Court immediately. Now I gotta think. Yeah, so probably I'd do the Envoy once, pick it once, make sure I find the King's Court. And yeah, now I should have all the money in the world. So I think this interaction can be a little bit confusing. Daimyo, King's Court, Daimyo, or King's Court, Daimyo. Um, so you play this Daimyo, you play the King's Court. You play this Daimyo 3 times. We've got a second King's Court play to resolve, so before you play any actions in your hand, this King's Court gets played again by that Daimyo. And then this Daimyo, all 3 of these are going to trigger on that King's Court play. So what actually happened is this Daimyo is now fully resolved, and I've got like 5 King's Court plays, 4 left. Which means tons and tons of money. And I just want to pig this so I don't take debt. And I'd rather take a bunch of horses, I think, than exile a million things. Okay, so probably I want another tiara. I want another charlatan. Probably another king's court, which I can put on top. Am I gonna need more buys? Possibly so. Am I threatening a pilot if I have more buys? Maybe. I have 4 buys minimum if I tiara, and then 5 or 6 if I, or 7 even if I'm King's Court in the Imperial Envoy. I can get additional buys by playing that more times. I don't think I need more buys that badly quite yet. Maybe just another charlatan. Taking some King's Courts. Let's see, Daimyo, King's Court, Daimyo. And this just gives me a million King's Court plays to work with. Then I do another Daimyo. All three of those once again trigger on the King's Court, as one King's Court has been played 8 total times. And I got 11 of those King's Court plays to resolve. I don't think I need all these King's Court plays when I think about this. So I think what I want to do, if I want to maximize the amount of money I'm getting out of this, is leave one Charlatan unplayed and use the very last King's Court on the Daimyo, and then that gets me like 4 Charlatan plays instead of 3, so like 3 extra money. Uh, can I figure out how many King's Court plays I have left? I'm not totally sure. Um, and let me see if I'm winning this turn. I have 4 buys. So in theory, a King's Court and Imperial Envoy and Tiara a Tiara, 1 buy naturally plus 3 is 4, plus 3 more is 7. Enough money to buy out Charlatans and Daimyos, which would cost me 32 money. The last Daimyo is free because I can buy it on debt. I'm already ahead on points. So the question is, can I hit 32 money here? Surely, right? It feels like not an object. Ooh, did not mean to click whatever I just clicked. I clicked, oh, that's fine. I clicked bounty hunter. I don't care about that. Exile a bunch of these for money. So I have to have 32 after paying off debt. So I have to have 44 before paying off debt, which I've already got. But just to demonstrate the point and see if I can do it correctly, so I go slay. This is my 10th King's Court play out of 11. I'm just going to go ahead and play this way of the pig. Now for my last King's Court play, I triple play the Daimyo. And now I get to play the Charlatan 4 times. Whereas if I had played it inside that massive King's Court chain, I would have gotten 3 plays. So snuck in 3 extra money, basically. And TR is going to ask me to top deck every single time. Okay. Good old 0 point kingdom. Yeah, the King's Court Daimyo stuff is just super explosive. You line those up and things go off the walls. I think there's some non-obvious choices in terms of managing the buys and the money and stuff because like at some point, if you're not careful, you can have like a million money and 2 buys or a million buys and 2 money. And so balancing it all appropriately seems a little bit difficult. I think I was pretty happy with the opening. I think the early-ish Tiara also seems really good with the top deck of thing, plus the Daimyo is just a great way to kick off your turn. So yeah, overall, I feel like I played that pretty much correctly in my humble assessment. The bot is largely clicking the same cards, but just seems to have been a little bit slower on the draw there. Um, you do have this problem. The -7 points is because the bot has 8 curses in its deck, where you're like half a turn slower, only kind of being player 2, and all of a sudden your deck is like a million miles behind. Easily happen here. How did the bot open? Well, let me go back and look. Bot opens with Kintsugi and Bounty Hunter. Yeah, that looks good. And it had the worst draw turn 3. This is the worst case scenario, I think, for the Bounty Hunter Kintsugi opening, is hitting 3 money. Because Charlotte and Tiara looks great, and on most draws you hit 5-4 or 6-4. There's some chance that if your bounty hunter's in a hand with all coppers, then you hit 5-3, and that just seems substantially worse because you don't get a tiara, and then the tiara is how things kick off from there because then you get to pop deck all the nice things, and yeah. So the bot was player 2. The bot had 4 draws. I'm not sure the bot played this any worse. It might have just been a little bit hosed there.